That is Avenger's analysis of FaZe. Thank you very much, Avenger. We're ready to go into our final game of Miramar here. It's going to be game number 18 for the PUBG Europe League. It's our first week. We are heading over to our commentary team here for all the action once again. Boys, take it away.
I don't really know where to go from that one, mate.
He's well happy, and James is loving life up there.
James is having a good old time.
He's been released on desk. That basically says, do whatever you want. And he's like, okay, we'll
unleash the beast. But anyway, let's get into the game, because here we go. And Navi getting out of the plane very early on, and ENCE with them. This looks like a bit of a battle for Valadamar.
Interesting. That's a
CrowCrowd too.
That's thrown on its head completely. Remember where ENCE usually go, Lee? They can go to their home position. There's no reason, or no need, should I say, for them to be doing this. This is a complete different play whatsoever compared to every other game that we've seen so far on Miramar from them.
And Navi, their old home used to be Valadamar, so they are kind of going back there. So ENCE forced to go down to the island. CrowCrowd are kind of, well, considering their options, honestly.
If you look further and deeper onto the other side, Lee, you've still got Mikaz in there, so he's split off from the rest of them, can cause problems and probably kick it and really give the information from where CC are. So basically, Navi have now been flushed into a corner and forced to share one town. I mean, fair enough. It's a pretty decent open city down there. They'll be able to get a decent amount of gear up, but still, it completely throws everything into disarray, and they'll have to be wondering what's going on.
Going to go with the northern circle here, I reckon. Let's see. It's probably going to be a deep south.
Before ENCE just
ends on the island.
I've seen the future.
Prison. Yeah, something crazy. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen a prison circle. I don't think I've ever seen one down that way.
If anyone can get it, it's you, Lee.
got this curse. Well, okay, it's a relatively mild circle. Vitality going to be delighted. Valadamar, of course, and a whole host of compounds in and around the centre there. And obviously, we're going to see Team Liquid coming out of Picardo fairly early, along with TSM, looking for some of those hillside compounds. NIP also in a good spot. Joker's decided La Cabrera is the place to be. We didn't really mention it last game. Jokers, that's the second and the third today. They're having a pretty good day already.
It is. Again, there's numbers inconsistency, and especially when they're getting a fair amount of kills. I mean, look what TSM did very day number one with a 21 banger, and it put them up at the top, and they've kind of stuck around at least the top half of the table so far. Obviously, a few rough, inconsistent matches, but certainly getting a few kills and getting up there on the scoreboard early is doing wonders. Vitality Central Circle here. They're allowed to do whatever they want. Navi again. All the way down here, there is plenty of loot for them, so the entire team of Fort won't mess up their looting too much. ENCE have decided to eject themselves out of where they were, and they'll go further afield with the vehicles, so they might be able to get back on home territory if they want to. There is an option to do it, but they won't get much loot by driving over there.
I wonder from Navi's point of view, obviously now that the fact they have adjusted this, whether they, how much, because obviously you're given your 60-second countdown, you know where the plane path's going, that's where they've obviously decided where they're going. But this affects their rotations pretty largely. You know, if they're thinking they'll be down Porto-Paraiso, you know, Impala sort of side, coming in that side, they're completely the opposite side. So suddenly thinking, okay, if we go north, we're kind of bumping into FaZe, maybe even into Winstrike or Red Diamond, sort of along that territory. If we go sort of direct, we get Digital Athletics. We know that CrowCrowd and ENCE have kind of dropped on top of us. Well, they don't know who it is, but they know someone's dropped on top of them. It's going to cause a tricky rotation. We're probably going to see some very late rotation from them, actually.
Honestly, they might get a really easy way into the circle because, I mean, look at Leones, look at Impala. Look at between Impala to Lembedita, there's literally nobody. The playing path was obviously more towards, you know, a westerly direction, if you will. But the fact that everyone's kind of jumped out of the plane, the entire eastern side is pretty much empty, apart from G2 that are lingering around their usual spot, which is where you would expect them. This could be a really easy rotate down south and up to the north.
3 minutes, 40 seconds, and some teams are already on the move. Team Liquid and TSM. Of course, the plane path went directly over the top of their drops, but they're already looking for a hole. They're looking for a spot. They're already taking shots on NIP, who are also deciding to take a move. So Gaxy's got himself into this warehouse early. You can see Liquid in the distance there, already trying to get them center strong compounds. Now, of course, this circle could go any direction. We've no clue where this could go because it's all land. There is no predicting this one.
If anything happens, feel free to just dive in and take over, see any fights, but you were kind of talking about teams moving. The simple fact that there's no water in there or there's no ridgeline, we're not all the way buffered up against the edge of the map or the island or anything like that, the circle could literally go anywhere. Now, in the fact of not being able to predict this, the center point is obviously the best position, because no matter what happens, in theory, if you're dead center, you'll be somewhere inside that next circle, or at the very least, extremely close to it. So, if
unless
you
it's a
want
real severe
oh yeah,
shift,
it'd have to be the absolute shift to the edge, you know, a complete northeast south direction. But the center, that's the best place to be right now. So everybody wants a land grab, smash in there and get it. But we've got Liquid, Knights, Vitality, NIP, TSM, and even G2. A lot of heavy hitters going early, which kind of leaves the extremities free and open for teams like Na'Vi or CrowCrowd if they, if they want to do this, as we said, this southern rotation. It actually looks like Na'Vi and Digital Athletics might run into one of the potentially.
This is what I was talking about. Like, it's a risky move if they go a little bit too early, and I feel they are actually going too early at the moment. Na'Vi, they are going to bump into Digital Athletics, and even M19 maybe. Digital Athletics taking shots on them. Surprise, surprise, because Recrent's going way, way early along with that rotation. And the rest of his team are a little bit behind him. Batulin's taking shots as well, so they're all getting sort of tapped in the back. Doesn't look like he's doing too much damage though, so they're going to be fine with those Murados. Not built for off-road, but they're trying it anyway. See how it works out. Knackering that suspension in, but they don't care. Over in the north, Jokers have got a field day here, along with Razor Edge. You can see them going. Obviously, they're up in Cruz del Val usually, so freedom of the city effectively, freedom of the northern side. If I was them, I wouldn't be pushing too close to center. I would just take, what I've got and hope that this circle goes north.
It actually feels kind of weird to see them inside the circle at this point in the game, to be honest with you. Because they do creep quite late. They'll always leave one back, and they are always the last ones in. By playing the game, and you kind of mentioned, Lee, you don't want to see them too creep, they might be able to get ahead of G2. They've been causing G2 a few problems here and there, obviously picking a scalp for the odd player or two. Speaking of which, Nasus, he goes down. Michael, the initial pick of the game. Are they actually going to advance on that? I'm looking at the map. It looks like they're pushing, Lee.
They have got Gustav up there. Yeah, he's just around the corner. Look, Gustav's just around the other side of this hill. He's taking shots on towards his monkey that was coming down to try and get the revive in him, and Jazza trying to cover off. No, he's backed away. Okay, he's backed away. So TSM forced him away there. So pressure in numbers works out. Shadow's going to get the revive back on his feet. 64 still alive. Looking down the south rotations, Navi did come into the edge of the circle. Doesn't look like they can get up the hill there. I didn't certainly fancy having just a little peek over the brow. CrowCrowd, they're making the big south rotation along with ENCE. You can see Squeaky going all the way around. I went a bit squeaky then myself. All the way around. I mean, looking at, obviously because, you mentioned it right at the start, because these teams have vacated their usual loot drops, it does leave anything over that southeast side completely open at the moment.
Feels a bit bad for ENCE. They decided to move to a different location, and where they would have been perfectly fine.
Staring right at him. That's an easy one. Going to get a second as well out of this one, maybe. 6mo just off the side there. He's going to get caught out. Iro will go down. Digital Athletics ran straight into the Russians, and that's not where you want to be on the hillside. Very slow moving as well in those vehicles, trying to bounce over the hillside. Aduzi, the leading damage dealer actually for the Red Diamonds, the new man that's coming in. Doing a grand job. Best of luck, of course, used to hold that title in previous tournaments.
They have potential to annihilate the melee. They've already got 2 down. Ira will be looking for information, because I don't think you can get the res off of this one. To get the res, you would have to take at least 2 of the Red Diamonds out.
Look at Senpai.
Is he getting shot in the back? Is that actually... Yeah, he is. So he's getting shot in the back. So this might play dividends to him now in the fact that Digital Athletics might be able to catch Red Diamonds while they're scurrying away and trying to get themselves back together. He's looking, he's creeping. Aduzi's getting aggressive, though. All right, fair play. They're pushing on this, and they're having it. Pins down there as well. He peeks up a little bit too much. He didn't realize there's another player behind him, Lee.
Yeah, he's looking towards best lock. He's going to get caught. There it is. The damage comes in the side. Pin with the rotate. Senpai being caught out, though, with 6mo, but they will be flushed very early on. We haven't even hit the 9 minutes mark, and they are gone.
I mean, obviously...
Ooh. This is what I'm talking about, Razor Edge. I didn't want them to go too deep in the circle. And look at that positioning. This could be perfect for them. TSM also in a good spot. They're getting moving early on. The Jokers, of course, don't forget about them coming in. They went like Cabrera, and this could work out for them. They've had a second and a third, and may well be looking at another great position, but it looks like them and TSM crashing for the same spot. Razor Edge as well. We're watching Na'Vi. I don't care about Na'Vi right now. They're rotating into no man's land. It's TSM and Razor Edge. There we go. Gustav gets in there, gets the damage down unwanted as soon as he moves in. He's got late support coming. Rory comes around the side.
The commitment must be here. Rory's turning up. Where's the other two as well?
They're on the left side flank. They've gone for the compound over the road on the left.
Are they doing the 2-2?
Snark and Wanted, they are exposed right now. They don't realize it. The left side of them, Wookie Bookie, look, he's gone right round the back of them.
Gustav will be able to get the first aid kit off, but Wookie Bookie will have an eye line if they do decide to bank out. Michael's here as well, so the cavalry has arrived, and they also hold the off angle. They might be able to box in, raise your edge. That's a good nade. Gustav's in all kinds of damage. Snark probably wants to push on this one, Lee.
Yeah, they're backing away. Look at that. Couple of managed getting the hell out of there. They realize they're in a dangerous spot here. The Jokers are coming in to try and third party. Well, keep your eye on the minimap for the tracer fire coming across as well. Still no downs. That's a good headshot, though. Gustav forced to back away.
Snark's got to be careful here. I didn't realize, but Gustav's actually got the MK14. You can guarantee that the thing's going to be on full automatic. Maybe a red dot on it as well. It might be a DMR, but again, full auto. It's the strongest AR in the game. It is indeed. He's looking outside, level 3. The man, the myth, the legend, Gustav, who's always the one for TSM that likes to go off on his own. He's their lead scout.
Fast Row getting shot at as well. He's trying to dive in. Jokers are taking shots on the back of Raise Your Edge here. Round the side, the nade finds Narc. That's going to be Michael getting involved. It's been a while since we saw him getting some big kills. Gustav will trickle that nade. Look at the taps. That's the Jokers. They're trying to steal it. They got it. Senya nicking a kill there on Snark.
And that's not what you want to do. If you're committing so much utility to this fight, you're using the bandages, the bullets, the gear, you want to make sure you confirm every single one of these. That's a second down now for Gustav.
That's a big mark 14 for Vitality. TSM go for the siege. They pile in, and Wanted is in all sorts of trouble. The last man standing for Raise Your Edge, trying to get out of there. Oh, comes around the corner. There's 3 of them staring at him. And Michael will collect himself a kill. Raise Your Edge. 15th place. The circle was theirs to be had.
I'm glad you touched on it, Lee. I'm just about to say we kind of need to expand on the fact that they started in the north. They were in the circle to begin with, and they could have got the best position in the game. Instead, TSM sweeps in and just removes them completely from the server.
Mexi down and out as FaZe Clan try and rotate. They're coming in a little late and clashing with Winstrike once again. Winstrike coming down from El Pozo, Monte Nuevo for FaZe Clan, of course. The rotation's always going to be in a similar situation, and FaZe continue their tough rotations on Miramar, honestly. It's always been a problem in the past. Way down south, we're seeing the red diamonds here. You can see over to the east of them is Na'Vi. To their west of them is ENCE. This is a big rotation from many teams coming south.
Eastern Bank's about to get rather busy. Liquid have also opted to... It's a pretty big swing from them. They've done it in the past. We know they're more than capable of taking these large rotations.
FaZe have pulled up and they've just smashed Jorski. And now, because obviously they just lost Mexi back there. Did they get Mexi back on his feet? I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure he got confirmed.
Yeah, he got
that's another hard shift as well. 2 in a row back to back. So first of all, we go north, and then the circle comes back down south. I mean, there's a few teams here. Liquid. You know what's more interestingly? ENCE are actually re-rotating. Na'Vi have actually stopped in the blue and opted to go back the way they came from.
Going back across.
This is brutal.
Red Diamond are trying to go straight Minas Generales. Vitality could benefit from this one, but Jokers are pushing in early. Collectively, Shadow, you got to rejoin your team quicker than that. He's just keeping an eye on Jokers down low. Look at that. Just getting a ping on there, trying to toss a nade out, see if he can collect anything. Vitality just got a crate, remember, as well, and they kind of have the central point right now. TSM, they're going to stick with their compound. FaZe, as you mentioned, back on the rotate as well. They just went all the way around the western side. Nice breaking there as Uber just gets the 8C straight smashed in the back. Sorry, mate.
They're not inside the circle as well. They will be on the slower side. Probably look for a point of entry around Hacienda for the simple fact that the buildings, they will be able to get some kind of cover. If they've got the scopes on the back of these snipers and DMRs, they'll be able to peek inside the windows and see if anyone's setting up shop, but more than likely the best point of entrance for them. Meanwhile, it's the East, Lee, that could be the big problem because Liquid are literally playing border control. They're right on the edge here. Na'Vi coming out of the blue. Same for CrowCrowd as well. Remember, these 2 CIS teams have been in the blue for a while.
Liquid
They'll have committed so many meds here to stay alive. And even if they do come out of that blue and they've been they still might be very weak. And Liquid, they might pick up some points here. Quite a few, in fact, if CrowCrowd hits them head on, you know, all tanked up.
They're all on a turret at the moment. They're swiveling around, looking to see what's coming. They heard CrowCrowd driving up behind them, but they're still on foot. It's there. At the moment, they're trying to make their way through the ridges and duck through the craters as best they can and down towards Minas Generales' edge side where M19 currently resides. NIP, they're going to be pulling up in the north and northwest corner. as if you can ever have a corner on a circle.
I think they're quite lucky in the fact that FaZe didn't go for that early because they were in front of them. So if they'd gone to the Hacienda, NIP would be in such an awful position right now because you've got Winstrike on their right-hand side. So essentially, FaZe would have been able to clamp them in. FaZe is pushing out a little bit more aggressive here for FaZe to try and find some sort of a foothold deeper inside the circle because they've had 2 hard shifts go against them. Will it be third time unlucky, or will they actually get some respite here and maybe go towards Hacienda?
I think Rinkren thinks he can throw a bit of a pitch there. I'm not too sure how far he thinks he can throw a grenade, but it's definitely not that far. It's a wee bit off in his distance there, but he's maybe expecting them to be pushed as they hold the ditch side of Minas Generalis. We've actually seen it finish on Minas Generalis a couple of times, so this is potentially a bad of a position. We've seen 2 hard shifts. Why not will a shift again down south? Who knows? Everybody inside the circle. It's another hard shift to the north.
Oh my. Back and forth we go, 3 shifts, and I even hear the players, or at least the coaches in the background, making a bit of noise because that is wild.
Who just fought for that compound from Razor Edge are now sitting pretty. You know, Wookie sent it over the road, looking for it. He's got to be careful. Winstrike are going straight for it. I think they're just going to get in towards that compound. That's where they're hoping for. The Joker's off the side. You can see Wookie on the hillside just having a little peek. Dimmy is going to go straight up there. I've got to get his name right. Dimmy. More Dimmy, yeah.
Google with I don't really mind.
But yeah, that was what he used to be known as. It's a lot easier. Caxi getting caught. Joker's taking shots. You can see FaZe Clan have moved inside the circle. They've just gone to the little towers down the bottom there, but it's the south side. Navi, Sadovnik sending in. You can see ENCE trying to get a couple of shots onto him. Rustamar trying to spray it down, but it's too late. Now M19 and Team Liquid off in the distance, also clashing. Sadovnik finds himself a tree and a rock to hide in, and that's about all they're going to get for now. CrowCrowd and G2 very close to one another over on the far eastern side as they also look to clash.
Teams with a difficult run here, NIP. They've got 2 teams directly in front of them as they head out the Hacienda. More importantly, FaZe are directly there. We are only just seeing the Knights make a move. This is ridiculously late coming out of the boys of the Pittsburgh Knights. They're all up here, but they're about to smash directly into FaZe, unfortunately. The welcome wagon has arrived, Lee.
Yeah, they're trying to get straight down and look at NIP in the distance. You got Jokers off the side. This is going to be third party central. Oh, he gets 80 of Fuzz face down. Nearly does it. Uber's on nothing. So close to being flush FaZe Clan. They do manage to take the Knights down, but he has got about 2 hit points left on him at the moment, Uber. He will get himself a heal off, and he should be able to rest. The question is, do NIP maybe look to go for it? No, they're going to head north. They don't want to get involved because they see the Jokers putting too much cover fire down.
Remember, one of those players were knocked earlier on, so that's going to be a quick bleed out as well. He's going to have to work his magic here if he wants to get the rest of his teammates up. Uber with the clutch at the end there. Drayden sees ENCE crawling away. No, not today.
That was the bleed out.
Are down to 2.
Yeah, it was the bleed out because Knights obviously were finished.
And that's because he knocked himself on the back.
He knocked himself with the bike. Uber ran him over.
Literally because of that, he died now.
Uber knocking him down, and just a little too late on the revive there. Pin, nothing left for him. Managed to, we'll confirm it. Thank you very much. A doozy does get dream for you as well. So CrowCrowd also being picked off by Red Diamonds as they clash either side of this hillside. The CIS teams both really battling for points at the moment, languishing down the lower half of the table.
And once they've done with this late, they then got to face G2. It's like, what do? You're going to head on into the Germans, and unfortunately, you're going to have no meds, you're going to have no utility, and your gear's going to be bent, broken, and battered.
Yeah, Team Liquid trying to engage on M19. Meanwhile, that's on the hillside. Wanderer get us a couple of tags. Doesn't work out for him. Jazz has found himself a Mark 14. That was what was in the crate, and they are battering Navi down the roadside. Wanderer puts a decent bit of damage down.
No fear.
Senpai, meanwhile, picked off down the back there for M19. We saw the 2 battles that were playing out on your screens as a double crate drop comes in to taunt and tweak. Will ENCE go for it?
Much needed kill from Ibiza there to take him out of that position because he was causing Liquid so many problems, just holding him back. They're not in the greatest of position for a hard shift. Let's have a look.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay.
It's not bad. It keeps, it keeps a lot of people within play, at least all these people around either the south or the east. They've got something to play with, unless G2 decides, okay, let's stamp our feet on the ground and go and take a big pivotal position now, which will deny anybody any further inside the circle.
G2 going fast. They're going to take the ridge line, and that's going to be a great move. This could really be a big play for them to get across there early. They didn't really have to deal with too much in terms of competing against them, but Enoch is pretty much right on top of them. You can see them just in the distance. That's a nade coming straight towards you, Enoch. Run away. It's all right. He's outside of nade range, backs away, but he's got Team Liquid shooting in his back. Brexco getting caught out, though. James and Ibi get themselves on him. Enoch will go down, so M19 out in 3rd position as ENCE and Navi, they continuing to go at it.
Actually starting to go a little bit wrong for G2. It's a fantastic position in terms of being able to hold people back. But if there's many a line of sight on you because of all these teams and where they're spread out, Liquid are going to have to work and earn their money here as ENCE and G2 are directly in front of them. But it looks like they're doing just that. It's actually Navi falling on the outside.
And you know, Team Liquid are cleaning up right now. They're picking up all these third-party kills. That was another 2 kills for Team Liquid there as both Navi members flushed out. Now they're moving towards that hillside where ENCE only have 2 team members left. They're picking on with numbers advantages, really pushing them down. Uber's going to have to send it for FaZe Clan. Where's he going to go as the last man standing? He's going to get instantly picked off, and FaZe will go down in 11th place.
10 teams remain, and the edge of the circle is going to get quite messy. G2, unfortunately, have been picked apart by several different angles, and Team Liquid, they're taking full advantage of this one. ENCE, all right, they do have two men up, but at what cost? They've already lost them behind. They've lost position on the map. They now have to smoke up and pray nobody decides to attack them. And from either side, to be honest, either Liquid or Vitality could quite easily finish them off.
Liquid is just taking everyone on right now, coming down this hillside. They've gone for Vitality, they've gone for CrowCrowd, they've gone for G2, they've picked a couple of shots at ENCE. They're just coming down the hillside looking for kills. Alflaze goes down, Samty goes for Mikaz, and just like that, we lose both CrowCrowd and ENCE straight away. They hold the hillside, they're pushing on G2.
They're not stopping whatsoever.
Vitality going in the backs.
The Liquid hammer is coming down. It's coming down with a vengeance, but as you say, Lee, Vitality, they might be a spanner in the works here. 5 kills.
10 kills already.
In total. Jimbo picking up 5 for himself. They've got the range. They've got the gear. They also have the position, but Vitality, they're the next people they have to play.
And they quickly turn around. 4v3 at the moment. That's a big knock straight from Jazz. That Mark 14 doing work for him as James gets knocked off his ass. Straight away, the nades come down. Shadow has to back away. Knocked by a nade. Gets pushed away. A second comes in to confirm. As Shadow's in all sorts of trouble. Look at Jemty trying to line one up. He just tosses it down the hill. The smokes come out. Anyone going to pay dividends? G2 are looking to try and get on their backs, but there's only 2 members left for them as a nade goes towards Samty.
Oh, James instantly off the floor and back down there. That's a bit unfortunate now. They won't be able to get him at that angle. He's far too out in the open, so Liquid as a 3 will have to fight the oncoming force of Vitality. All on their lonesome with G2 still shooting in the back.
Look at Monkey. This is a great flank from Vitality.
Pure
All
aggression.
fall back on their feet as they chum around. And James will be flushed down. There's now Jemty and Ibiza. They're going to get caught in no man's land. They have no cover. Ibi just getting absolutely annihilated. 4 people turn on them. Jemty and Samty pop off. Oh, the spray down flank. Samty couldn't quite do it. He gets stabbed in the back by G2. And Liquid with 10 kills go down in 8th.
But I tell you what, he's done so much damage to Vitality. G2 will be able to hold them at gunpoint because the blue, that's the next obstacle for them as they run through the open. In theory, G2 should be able to move up there and have an eyeline on them.
TSM are trying to take advantage of this. They're looking down the hillside as well. They've just seen what Team Liquid can do and thinking we can have a piece of that. They've already picked up a bunch of kills off Rise Your Edge, remember. And now Michael's going looking for G2. Meanwhile, NIP, they've sent it. Vard gets in there, but Vitality are pushing down on towards G2 as well. Joker's looking to try and find Miraku, just sitting in that car and hoping that he can get away with it, but Vitality on the hillside are crushing on down on G2.
Wookie Bookie at range, how else would you have it? SLR comes in, NIP, back to back,
TSM.
just like that, all 3 players confirmed dead.
TSM must be looking at a decent kill count as well now. The Joker's on 4 as they look for more and they're trying to move across. They've got 4 still standing. Vitality holding that hillside looking towards G2, but it is a shack. It's a tricky position to push sometimes. They don't really know how many are down there.
Best of luck would be an important kill now. If someone removes him, then that's TSM's backside completely clear and they're allowed to play forward. They are spreading out in a 2-2 split. Yes, it's dangerous. Again, strength in numbers rather than being a 4-man stack, but still. The emergency backup is there. Remove Bestalok from this and you're going to be clear.
Jokers are just peppering them. This is a bad place to be right now. Nasus is going to be left, I think, in the dirt.
No.
Monkey's trying to get away with it, but Tab is doing some serious work. Catches Jazzer in the back. That's level 3 items, remember. He had himself on him. He will get back on his feet. Is G2 going to try and push for it? Udir's having a sniff.
Remember, Lee, that'll be their 2nd or 3rd knock for some of them. They're in a lot of trouble. Their gear's going to be not in the best state. We might have lost a few chests, maybe even an odd helmet or two. So Vitality, they're playing
Michael's
with
going
scraps, to be honest.
Michael just had a little look down the back hill, didn't see anything, so they're not going to worry about Best Lockma right now. He might be able to catch Wookie out in the back, who's going for shots onto Tab, and the circle shrinks. Winstrike and TSM, obviously with big numbers here. Vitality, of course, still with 3 alive on that hillside.
The problem is for Wookie is that if he does get spotted by Bestalok, any of these TSM, in fact, Gustav as well, Bestalok will go for the insta-flush, so they'll lose a man.
He's chucking a flashbang.
There's nothing else they can really do. They will literally just go for the instant kill. Michael, though, is scouting the... This is a good play from Michael, a really good read.
But again, he's looked. Does he see Bestlock? Bestlock's basically sitting low at the moment. He's looked back there a couple of times. He finds him this time.
This is a huge play.
He's there. Yeah, he's going to finish him off. So Bestlock will go down. 6th for the Red Diamonds, and now TSM know their backs are safe, and they hold a decent portion of the ridgeline, all of this circle.
Now, one single kill gives them basically back protection, but they have to be aware of very much what's in front of them. 2 members of G2 yet to show their hand, and then Vitality, they have to come. And remember, that's a decent amount of Vitality players up there. 3 in total. So still a good amount of fights to come. TSM with the 4-man up at the moment. They're in the best position here to take this, but you've got to be aware that G2 could quite easily just stab both Michael and Rory right in the back.
Another top 5 finish for Jokers here. It looks like, I don't think they're going to get across this field. Kemba's kind of last man. Everybody wants a piece of them at the moment as they try to work their way across. There's 3rd, 4th, 5th party all going on right now. It's just a big old festival on Kemba at the moment. Vitality.
You see,
well,
these
the
two fights
running
here,
out for them.
This, you know, they know exactly where each of them are.
Oh, Jazza downed again.
Look, all of a sudden, Rory and Michael, okay, boys, we can hear the fighting. Let's get involved in this, or at least let's pay attention to where those shots are coming from.
Yeah, Wookie got him from down low. He's been working so well with that SLR at the moment. They realize there's 2 in that shack, and like you say, that just gave all the information TSM needed.
That was so important to take that fight between those 2 teams for TSM. That nade could be perfect.
Good night. Oh, how did Udir survive that?
We can't survive the second one.
He's got to be around the back of the shack. He's got to be at the back of the shack. Yeah, he is.
Oh, so, he's out? What?
Yeah, he managed to... Was he in the shack, or was he around the back?
Must have been around the back of it.
He had to be.
He's got no gear, is the lad. He actually might be able to get his teammate up here.
Yeah, he's going to get Kane's going to go for the res here.
Oh, where
is
did
there
we
any
see
more
this
nades to
yesterday?
follow through? Shadow, the last man standing for Vitality. Winstrike going looking now. Starting to come out of their compounds. As a big nade comes out from Dimit. Gets himself one on Gustav. That's off to the side of him. Smokes will go down to try and keep his back, but it's not Smokes. They're not going to be able to stop a grenade, are they? That's what he's got to worry about right now as he creeps and crawls back to Wookie.
So this is the issue for TSM. They now have to take 2 fights on 2 different fronts. And each fight will be at a disadvantage because they're split into 2 different groups. 2 duos. Winstrike for them. They'll take the compound. Nobody's going to go there. G2 and Vitality again as soon as they peek up. They do have 2 men on either side. You'd have thought both of them will go after TSM because they won't go downhill into the open to the buildings, will they?
But TSM needs to support each other here. They realize, obviously, they haven't got a problem with nades down there, but if they're going for this fight with G2 on this little compound, a little hillside, they have to support it. Yeah, Wookie's coming.
Yeah,
look, Gustav's back on. So Gustav's now with the Mark 14, so they've traded it out. So he's going to try and put the damage from that range. I wonder if Wookie just... has he got any nades? I'm assuming Wookie's come up because they've got no nades left.
I mean, they've put him forward, and then they've obviously allowed him to meet up with Michael and Rory and give them support to deal with the oncoming assault, which could be G2.
There we go.
One. Thank you very much.
Kane, the last man, he's going to get flushed out.
Big
10
numbers.
kills and counting. They're going to see Kane. They see him around the side, and he should be finished off. That will be G2. Consistent placing, 4th place for them, but it's TSM looking at big numbers right here. Or can Winstrike put themselves in the hot seat? Vitality still with Shadow, just hop, skipping, dodging the bullets, but TSM will find him.
Mark 14 does its job. As you mentioned, Lee, a guaranteed 2nd place finish and some big kill numbers. But how do they play this one out? How do they get down to the bottom without getting smashed to pieces as they arrive down the hill? Obviously, this circle now will force both teams into the center. There's no hard shifting or no weird and wonderful wacky places for it to go. Teamies up front, ready to accept the oncoming assault. But this is where you need someone like Wookie, your marksman, the beast, the Danish monster with the sniper to find a face, open a door, just get a pick, and then advance on it.
I'm not sure I like Nookie's position right now. I don't think he should be in the building anymore. He limits himself in the angle range of fire that he has, whereas Timmy is going to get surrounded in a moment. And Tixu's down low to try and offer the support, but he's such a limited angle just looking out that window, whereas obviously TSM, they've got the entire range of the hillside to come from.
Timmy's also on his own, which is with 3 men right above you. If they come down, they're just going to raise holy hell and murder him instantly.
He's moved out. There we go. That's more like it.
Are they smoking up the building? This could be an IQ 200 pit. This is amazingly. They're pre-smoking the building to deny line of sight. They're going to push down upon them.
Oh, it's risky. It's risky. Dimmy's going to be the big pivotal role. If he can catch them off guard, he's got to get himself an insta headshot, though, I think, to try and slow the torrent that will be TSM pouring down the hillside. And look at this, Tixu trying to offer the fire, but that gets caught in another angle, and Michael gets involved. Gustav down quickly, but Dimmy getting 1-for-1. Wookie finds him, and just like that, it's all over. It is going to be a 14-kill game, I believe, for TSM. Another big round